Tell us what's happening here tonight at Valley Forge High School.
Well, the Rangerttes are sponsoring their 19th annual Color Guard competition. We're hosting color guards from around Ohio and neighboring states. There's roughly 20 units that will be competing in 4 or 5 different classes, and our 2 units are 2 of the units that will be competing this evening.
Tell us a little bit about the units that are competing today.
The 4 different classes that there are in competition, there's a world class, which is the highest class of competition, and our senior guard is entered in that class. Our junior guard is in the novice class, which is the lowest class of competition for new and entering units, and then there are classes in between for high school world and high school A as well, and there are various units in each of those classes. The Rangerttes, 1991 marks the 40th anniversary of the unit. The Rangerttes were formed in 1951 as part of a Girl Scout unit and then became self-sustaining. And basically the purpose of the Rangerttes is to promote pride and discipline and sportsmanship within a competitive marching atmosphere. And the girls and the unit travel basically over 2,000 miles each year to compete both on a regional level and a local level and a national level.
How did you get involved with the Rangerettes?
Well, about 12 years ago, my mom brought me up here, and I started as a Wrangler, which is the lowest you can get. And when I was in that for 5 years, and I was captain of that. And then I moved to the B Guard. I was there for 2 years. And then I moved up to A Guard, and I've been here ever since.
I got involved when I was 7, and I was asked to join by a friend, and we just went up to practice and just joined from there.
Well, basically, my mom was just trying to find something to put me into, and she didn't want me in Girl Scouts, so she brought me up to see the Wranglers. I'm doing it ever since.
Basically, the girls are trained to handle a flag, a rifle, a saber, or all 3 pieces of equipment. They're also taught some basics of dance, and then all of that is put together in a 4.5 to 7 minute routine that they do to music.
For the senior guard, we practice like every 2 days and all weekend usually. Sometimes we have camps where we practice like 13 hours one day and 6 or 7 the next. And they're really long, but you learn a lot, so it's worth it.
And how do you work with the junior guard?
With the junior guard, they work on Wednesdays and then sometimes on the weekends, but not as long. We just come up with work and we just put it into the drill and teach it, and then they learn it, and we just discipline them and keep working from there.
How do you feel about competing with other girls that work as hard as you do?
Well, that's part of it. That's the best thing is competing. That's what you learn, and I love competing in anything now.
When you have children, would you want them to go to the Rangerettes?
I would want them to, but I wouldn't want them to do it. I wouldn't want to force them into anything they didn't want to do. You either like it or you don't. Until you're 21. And I've been in since I was 6, and I'm 17 now, so I have a while to go.
Just kind of explain why you're feeling so emotional.
I don't think I can. I'm so embarrassed. Well, like I said, I was 7 years old when I joined. I'm 21 now, and it's my last year, and it's probably going to be the hardest thing I ever had to do in my life is to say goodbye to them. And I'm trying not to think of it as an end because I won't have the chance to perform anymore. But I'm beginning because now I give back a little bit of what they've given to me.
I think basically in our 40th anniversary year, I think we should say that this is the first time we've competed in world class, and we made our mark on the national scene 2 weeks ago when we won the World WGI Championship for the Midwest Regional in Indiana, which was a first for us. So that was exciting, and the 40th anniversary has been really exciting. We took a trip to Florida to mark the 40th anniversary, and that was held in February, and we did very well down in that. Both groups did. So we're having a lot of fun this year.
How'd you get involved with the Rangerettes?
Well, my mother was reading the Sun newspaper one day, and there was an ad in there for girls to join up. So she brought me up there, and at first I didn't like it. I thought it was hard, but then I got into it, and I really enjoyed it. And I ended up staying for 10 years.
Tell us a little bit about some of the moves they're doing today.
It's basically modern dance, really modern dance. Some of it's very difficult, some of it's pretty easy. You have to really see it to appreciate it, I suppose.
How do you feel the dance part of the Rangerttes have improved their routines?
They've improved quite a bit from when I was in. When I was in, it wasn't quite anything like it is now. Now, they're really come a long way. The stuff they do is really strenuous. It took them this year, especially this year, they've come a long way. Because we were never a dance-oriented guard, never, until about this year. And they've come a long way. They've worked really hard to get where their bodies are now.
Tell us a little bit what the Wranglers are.
The Wranglers are a training group for Rangerettes. Ages are from 5 to 11, and when they turn 12 years old, they graduate into Rangerettes B-Guard.
How do the girls get involved to start off with so young?
Either they know someone that's within Rangerettes A-Guard or Rangerettes B-Guard, or they know another Wrangler. A lot of them are sisters of Rangerettes, and or they read it like in flyers that are sent out through the schools or within the newspapers.
Tell us a little about how the judges judge.
Well, basically in tonight's competition, as in most of the competitions, there are 5 judges. All 5 of the judges will sit up in the stands, and there is one timing and penalty judge that will usually see if you're out of bounds or under time or overtime.
And I'm an adjudicator for the New York State Federation of Contest Judges and the Canadian Judging Association, so I'm visiting Ohio this weekend for the first time. As far as this season, this is the first viewing of some of the color guards for me tonight, and so far I'm very impressed at the quality compared to last year already, so they have improved. I think once the general public understands that it is a performance art, that it can be appreciated on the same as ballet and orchestra and any other kind of fine arts program, that hopefully in the future it'll be weighted accordingly.
Where do you learn how to become a judge of this type of event?
Basically, you have to have a lot of experience. You either come from the marching activity, which would be high school bands, or having a color guard program, or having dance background, equipment training, which is all the different captions. Me personally, this is my 18th year of judging.
If someone wants to get involved with the Rangerettes, how do they get involved with people?
Well, in terms of either the Rangerettes or Wranglers, we rehearse every Wednesday evening at Ford Middle School, which is on Holland Road in Brook Park. Rehearsals are open to anyone. They usually run from 7 to 9 p.m. in the evening.
If someone wants to get in contact to join, what's the number they call?
They could call 892-9247.